Hello, welcome to today's video. I think I'm about to get rained upon. It's just starting to come down. I've just been getting another Velo Viewer square. I didn't study it properly before I left home, but I think this is going to make me honour to a 20 by 20 square. The square concerned was just between RAF Syerston near Flintham, Newark, and the River Trent. It's involved riding around the perimeter of the old airfield, which over there, to get the square. I've no idea what the Air Force is, sorry, what the base is still used for. I think it's used for something, but I'm not sure what. I think this week is going to be the first week in quite a while I'm not going to hit my 100 target. The weather's been shite and I've had a few things on. I went kart racing on Wednesday night, so that was good fun. Not done that for a couple of years. I won, which is even better. It was a Sigma Sports staff evening out. We got a bit of footage from one of the grandstands from one of the spectators, so I shall drop a little bit in. I was a little bit cursing because once I'd gone through the qualifying and gone out to like the actual race itself, I'd given the camera to one of the spectators. Then when I went back to get in the car, there was a GoPro mount on the front of it, so it would have been quite good to have stuck this camera on the front of the car, but I'll know another time.
Got responsibility now. I've been given this to do.
So today I'm probably going to do maybe 25, which will just bring me to 40 for the week. I say lowest for a while. So a couple of weeks ago I was watching one of the cycling vloggers that I watch quite regularly, Dave Noakes. Always entertaining, always quite amusing. He's got a very fast way of talking, makes me smile. Yeah, I'll drop a link to his channel down below. And he was talking about his cycling story. He said be interested to hear other people's. And yeah, it got me thinking, yeah, about my own sort of cycling story. So I thought I'd tell you about it. So I'd always been into mountain biking, really, and I think I was quite early into that. I've been into skateboarding, so those kind of adrenaline sports, the early days of mountain biking, and I'm talking like 1986-ish, and I remember buying a mountain bike then and being an early member of the mountain bike club as it was then. And I'm sure it was 1987 I had a sticker on the frame, and yeah, I was quite into mountain biking. Love the whole thing of riding off-road with that. I remember exploring around the Beaver Woods when mountain bikes as such were all kind of new, really, and weren't really a lot around. So I'd always been into mountain biking, but it gradually drifted back and I didn't use it that much. Always had one, but maybe only used it in the summer, just ride a few miles on a warm day. I wasn't serious about it, it was just something that I had and I went out on every now and again. And I remember when I was 40, for my 40th birthday, bought a brand new Specialized hard rock. That was quite a big step up from my old vintage mountain bike, which was an MBK Adventure, if I remember rightly. But I guess in my 40s, being self-employed, working for myself, I was very busy with my business, didn't really give mountain biking sufficient. I was racing scooters as well, racing go-karts, so it was just one of several hobbies. So it didn't really get used all that much, and as I say, I wouldn't say I was serious about it. And had some health issues 2010, 2011, and I decided I wanted to use cycling to get fitter, get outdoors, and of course it's brilliant for your mental health. And we'd been up in Northumberland and I saw some signs for the coast to coast. Didn't know at the time actually what it was, so looked it up and I thought, oh, that would be quite interesting. So in terms of getting me cycling again and giving me something regular to concentrate on, I thought, oh yeah, you're right. I thought I'll go and do that. So myself and Lee, my business partner at the time, he was a keen cyclist, and we set ourselves the target of actually completing the coast to coast. I wanted an incentive to carry on riding through the winter, and that seemed a good thing to do. Carried on riding, carried on training. I was doing 5, 10 and 15 and 20 miles on my mountain bike. We were doing this coast to coast off road, and the plan was to do it in 2 days. And that was really the start of my sort of serious cycling, really. So I got really into that. We trained and trained and trained. In my simplistic mind, a way of training was to ride longer and longer distances, and if I could ride 50 miles on my mountain bike with no stops whatsoever, then come the day of the coast to coast, I could do 85 with stops. So that was my simplistic way of training. But of course, 50 miles on a mountain bike is quite a long way. And a couple of people said, you should get a road bike. I thought, no, don't be silly. I'm not wearing Lycra, good grief. Time passed and I came across Witham Wheelers doing their time trial one night just outside Grantham. And I'd never seen it before, and I wondered what all this is about. So it was these guys coming past in pointy helmets with racing numbers on, doing time trials. I thought, well, that's interesting. Went and I spoke to somebody about it, see what it was all about. He told me a bit, and it sort of sat in my mind. So that weekend I went back up and I did the course on my mountain bike. Pumped my tyres up stupidly hard, did the course. I remember doing 35 minutes 58 seconds, 2 seconds under 36 for the 10 miles on my mountain bike, which I was quite pleased with. When I looked in the paper that particular week, I wouldn't have been last. So a seed was planted. Oh, it's gone cold. Just up and had a coffee. It's outside, I've got really cold now. Oof. So I was quite intrigued at riding a bit faster on my time trials, and I thought, I wonder what these road bikes are like. So I went into the bike shop knowing nothing about road bikes, and managed to leave with one under my arm, which happened to be the right size. So basically I bought that with the sole purpose of doing the time trials and maybe just using that to ride a bit further. So I got the road bike just before we did the coast to coast, and that enabled me to ride a little bit further. But I was doing, you know, 40 and 50 mile rides on a mountain bike, which is it's quite a long way to go, really. So we did the coast to coast, and obviously that had been the thing I was actually training for to actually ride. So once that was out of the way, the road bike gave me a reason to carry on riding, and gradually I started to ride a lot more road, to the point where road became the thing that I do more than mountain biking. 2015, I'd been riding obviously my road bike for sort of 3 years or so at that point. I did ride London, so that was another thing to be training for. And so yes, as to how I really got into cycling more seriously. So really for the last sort of 7-8 years, cycling in various forms has been my main hobby. So I had a mountain bike and I had a road bike, summer bike and a winter bike, and last year I got the gravel bike, and I think it was 3 years ago I started playing bike polo, and that's quite good fun too. So yeah, most of my hobbies now are revolving around cycling in one format or another, and there's certainly worse things you can do. I think since I've been cycling regularly, seriously, I've lost sort of 2.5–3 stone in weight, which is one of the other reasons why I started riding. As some of you will know, just under 3 years ago, I opened a cycle cafe, that sort of gave me the chance to mix my other hobby of coffee with cycling, and then sold that beginning of this year, and obviously starting these vlogs. Doing the vlogs has become a hobby, and obviously that's about cycling too. So last year and this year I'm now up to riding 100 miles a week average, 5,000 for the year, and just love everything around riding bikes really. I think at the moment it's funny, I look around at a few other people who are my age and look at people who are considerably younger, and I think they're really not very fit. I think cycling has certainly improved my health by a long way. My health and fitness, it's been as good as at any point in my life, you know. So I'd recommend cycling to anybody. Yeah, so in brief, that's been pretty much my cycling story. I think it'd be interesting to see a few of the other vloggers that I watch, you know. If any of you guys are watching this, it would be good if a few more people put their cycling stories, how they got into it, what motivates them, etc., put it onto YouTube. It's always interesting talking to people about bikes, how they come to ride, where they ride, how much they ride. Well, feeling a little bit warmer now, got to warm back up again. Nearing the end of the ride now. I'm going to go home, make myself a coffee, get warmed up. Early start in the morning, should be up at 5 o'clock, so I shall see you again in a few days time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Had a bit of an influx lately of subscribers, so welcome to everybody that's subscribed. Don't forget to click the bell icon, and I'll see you again in a few days time. Cheers, bye.